card stands as a form of loan card. So what happens with credit card? Outside Nigeria, if you want to build credibility, you must work on credit system. It means that Nigeria operates a cash economy, meaning the more you have cash, the more you are regarded as a rich man. But outside there, once you go in, you have to buy a credit card. With that credit card, you can go to the bank and ask them to load up, let's say 1,000 USD for you. What is the essence? As they are loading up that money into the card, you are meant to use it and come and replenish and pay back the loan. So your ability to pay back whatever loan you are taking from the bank is called building up your credit score. So people stealing this number, they may use this to gain access to your credit card details. And what are they now doing? They know that credit card is almost like free money. So by the time they steal your credit card details of, let's say, 5 people with $1,000, they spend it and dump the card. Someone else has to pay back that loan. Someone else has to pay back the loan. So these numbers and these attacks are very, very important to study. Now, what happened with the target card payment system? What happened there? I taught us about this last 2 classes. The attackers wanted to attack targets. Target is assumed the largest retail store in the United States. What did they do? Did they go to Target directly? No. They went through a company that works with the HVAC. HVAC simply means air conditioning systems. You now ask yourself, air conditioning systems, why? Because remember IoT, Internet of Things. For you to come into some organizations to work on their air conditioning or heating systems, you must have an access. You must have access to probably browse. You must have access to probably enter the door. That is the network. Network control, access control. Network control access. So they stole login credentials of that company. What is that login credentials? It will probably be just the access card that the organization uses to enter the building. Maybe just that. Maybe the air conditioners are not even on the network. But the access card they used to gain access to the building, they stole it. Why? Access cards in a central building are usually connected via what we are seeing at the back, a kind of a network. That's one of the practicals we'll do today. So when they steal that card, they simply use that card to gain access to the building and probably gain access to the network device on the wall of the building. When they plug in their computer to that network device, the next thing is to find the switch associated, find the router associated, find the gateway, like we learned yesterday, the gateway to that main router. From that gateway, they are already in the network of this organization, and they now move in little by little and capture whatever they need. What now happened? Okay, so now, how did they get in there? They used the weakest line, which is the air conditioning company, by sending a phishing mail. Someone asked, how do you identify this phishing mail? Let me give a very simple illustration. A lot of us like free things. You open your email and say, click here to win iPhone 15 Pro Max. You open your email and you suddenly get a mail and say, you have been shortlisted to receive $200. Or sometimes you just see a story. My aunt was in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. By checking my record, I discovered that you are the grandfather to my grandmother of this. Kindly click this link to put in your account number. You click the link. Before the link takes you to a page of your account number, something has been taken from you. Or they tell you, click this link to log in to your Guarantee Trust Bank. Like someone rightly said, Guarantee Trust Bank could be GUA. The link could be G, the U may be another form of U. So as a general precaution, we always say this. If you are not expecting any mail, do not click. If you are inspecting, always inspect. If you are inspecting, always inspect the link on emails before you click. How do you inspect links of email before you click? Let's see an example. Okay, I've gotten what I want to show to you. Okay, look at this mail. Now, I got a mail from my university, University of East London. So now they're inviting me for a graduation ceremony. So if you see this mail could come from anywhere. What if I wasn't even expecting this graduation? Because I finished the program some years back and I suddenly saw this email. They are now asking me, click to confirm your participation. These people may have gotten my email address from anywhere because now the university is not in Nigeria, but I'm getting a graduation email to come to Lagos for graduation. That means I can decide to suspect the email. By suspecting the email, fine and good, they have gotten my detail and the email is addressed to me. Please click on the link to access all the essential ceremony or details. The link is a picture. What now happens? I am simply to click on this link and it will direct me somewhere. How do you verify if this link is legit or not? You right click on any link and say copy. When you copy, please always try to open a file, maybe a notepad document. You can choose to open maybe a notepad document and paste that link. By pasting that link, it will tell you exactly where that link is going to direct you to. Now, I'm looking at this link. It is looking to me like a suspicious link, but probably there's in cybersecurity, there's what we call sandbox environment. Sandbox environment means a safe environment to test links or to test files. If software can be sent to you, you go to a sandbox environment to test it. You can even create your own sandbox environment. Probably there's a computer somewhere that we are using for any suspicious activity. I can copy this link, go to that computer and type this link just to see where it will lead me to before I come to my main system to check it. So whenever you see you have one iPhone 5 or you are seeing Access Bank is doing a routine checkup and we have discovered that your password needs to be changed, click this link to change your internet login password on Access Bank. Copy that link and paste. You notice that the link is www.numbers.com whatever. What did they do? By the time you click that link, they have cloned Access Bank website and put it on another URL. Remember, the layman wants to see the bank login page. You assume that is their website. You don't bother to even check the link up there. When you go there, you type your username and password, and of course, when you type it and click login, what will the system tell you? Invalid username and password. And when it tells you invalid, those hackers will now redirect you back to the main website. And you try again. You say, no, my password is correct. You try again. When you try again, it will log you in directly to maybe Facebook or your bank website. And you forget about it. Then what has happened? For the mere fact that you saw an invalid request, when you are sure that you type in your correct login details, your credentials have been stolen. In second semester, we are going to try to hack Facebook, Google, and all of that. Why? Okay. Please, let's continue. So, please, let's read together. So, there's a form we usually sign. We'll pass it around. That is a disclaimer form. Now, whatever we are doing is for educational purpose. So we did it for last set anyway. So we are going to see how those sites are. In fact, we are going to learn how to clone. Maybe we are going to clone Facebook in class, host it on our own laptop. We'll host it on this laptop or any other person's laptop. Then we are going to visit that website, and I'm going to show you how when you click the website, we'll now see how you capture those details. So we'll capture it and keep, then now try to log in to a personal site. So that is what phishing actually does. Let's go back to the slide. Okay, let's go on. So they use the weakest line, and once they active, they discovered, please, this is very important. They discovered that the network wasn't partitioned. In networking, from what we are going to learn, we are going to learn what is called VLAN. Okay, let's use this instead. We are going to learn subnetting. We talked about it yesterday. In subnetting, like with this demonstrated router, we say cybersecurity class is port 1, the other one port 2, port 3, and port 4. Normally, on port 1, we could easily say cybersecurity students should use the IP address 192.168.20.1. Information technology 192.168.30.1. That is creating different subnets for the different departments. But some network administrators, even if all departments have different ports they're using to enter the router, they will still use the same IP address. Let's say they'll use the same matric number range. What differentiates your mass number from Infotech is 5571 and 5572. Do you still remember that? Yes. But some administrators, instead of differentiating it with that, they will say they don't have time. So by saying that, they will simply issue out 5571 to students of Infotech and students of cybersecurity, including students of computer science. What is the implication? That is a flat network. The network have not been partitioned. That means if I want to attack Infotech, it will stress me. I just need to come into cybersecurity class. Since all of them uses the same numbers, once I launch my attack, it affects everybody. That was what these people did. They didn't separate the network for the access control from the CCTV, the one for the POS system. They didn't separate it. They gave all devices the same IP addresses on the same network. That was what they did. And that is, in fact, that was why when these attackers come in, they simply sat down. Let's go ahead. In conclusion, this is what I want to drive into. As cybersecurity professionals, either we are advising, we are designing systems, not just designing systems, we are We are advising people how to be protective. What is the main question? The main question is always, will you be attacked? People generally say, my company is a small organization, my class is a small class. What actually do they want to come and do in my class? Am I a particular student of interest? I'm not. Maybe vice president will think that she's not important, but it is when she's attacked, she'll know that she's actually important. So the question is not, will you be attacked? The main question should always be, how prepared is your organization when they are eventually attacked? How prepared are you to restore your files to status quo? Have you been doing backup? Have you been performing some training for your staff? Have you been maybe doing some auditing on your system to see what and what is going on there? How prepared are you when the attack eventually happens? Let me give us a typical scenario of how this happens. Someone gave it in one of the presentations. An email. Let's start this way. Due to lack of the organization organizing cybersecurity training for all the staff, because they assume that we cannot be attacked, or they may also assume, why should our staff be attacked? They won't conduct training. Failure to conduct training, what happens? The cleaner, there are some organizations that even the cleaner have email. The cleaners, they have email. The cleaner can receive a mail. And what is the mail saying? You have been selected for US visa lottery. Since he or she is a cleaner, that will be the greatest news of his or her life that day. Click here to claim that visa lottery. Now, before the attackers will send that mail to a cleaner, the attackers know that the cleaner is a recipient of company's email. When a company is sending email to staff, like bulk emails, they send it to everybody, including the cleaner. That means in the cleaner's inbox, the cleaner have emails sent by several of the company staff. So what happens? When the cleaner clicks that email link, verify, the attackers will simply direct the cleaner to a window asking the cleaner, confirm your email username and password. She types in the password and they tell you confirmed, meaning they have finally gotten access to the email account of that cleaner. What is the next step? The next step is to log into that cleaner's email and now fish out all the email accounts of the organizational staff. When they do that now, it's for me to now think of what email do I think will benefit the entire organization. I'll send a mail. Message from the account unit. Due to the Nigerian tax laws, I will send this mail by 5 p.m. Why will I send it by 5 p.m.? Because work have closed. And nobody will be able to start calling the accountants to confirm if it's right, if it's correct or not. Due to the Nigerian tax law 2026, all staff should click this link to put in your TIN number. If not, salaries will not be paid. Once that mail comes from account unit, what do you think will happen? All the staff will start keying in to type their TIN number. Maybe they'll even ask for BVN. Without even thinking twice. You know, sometimes you react before you think. You have keyed in your BVN. Before someone will come to the group and say, please do not reply to any email that came in, everybody have already filled in. How did the attack come in? It started from the cleaner. Meanwhile, that would have been prevented if the company will have organized a cybersecurity training for all the staff. Simply to tell them, before you click ask, before you click send a mail, before you click call someone, a 5 minutes or 10 minutes presentation will have solved that problem. So the question will always be, how prepared are you when this attack occurs? So with this, we are going to end the class for this morning section. Please, any question? Any question? No question. Okay. So when are we coming back for the practical? 2 p.m. The configure will end by 2. Are you sure of that? Okay, so we are coming by 2:30 for the practicals. If we say next class, we will not be able to hold it. So 2:30 practicals. Thank you very much. Please, who is please hang on, just hang on. Kelvin Epo is in this class, right? Who is he? Okay. So we are to meet next week. Okay. I'll send you the address. Someone did a booking for today. Who is Queen? Queen Edafe. Okay. So we can meet after now before your next class. Okay, thank you very much.